Thank you. Good afternoon, chairpersons, organizers. A special thanks to Dr. Jerome Bovet here for giving me this opportunity. I know the first lecture post lunch is not really a good idea, but I'm sure the technological advance will keep all of us awake here. I'm going to be talking about a technology which is going to change the way we look at refractive surgery in future. Since you can see I'm far away from presbyopia, I'm not going to be touching upon presbyopia. I'm going to be talking about a procedure which is going to be useful for refractive error correction in general and maybe replace excimer laser procedures soon. So enter relax, and maybe it's time to say goodbye to excimer laser. We know that excimer laser technology has been around since at least 2 decades. It's a stable technology with excellent results, and all of us have experienced that more than 95% of all eyes are within plus or minus 0.5 diopters. There is ability to customize treatments, and there is a very high patient awareness and acceptance. So it's a procedure which is now time tested and here to stay, or it appears so. A conventional LASIK would involve mechanical microkeratome to create a flap and an excimer laser to do the ablation in order to achieve the equivalent correction. The lens material is removed in form of a gas plume from the base, the stromal surface. With the advent of femtosecond lasers, we have a very well established safety profile for making LASIK flaps because of the several distinct advantages that it offers. That the flap is locked in, so very little chance of it getting displaced. It's a fully sterile procedure with very tight control of flap thickness, sometimes as high as plus or minus 3 microns. You can make predictably thin flaps and therefore a better complication profile relative to any mechanical microkeratome flaps. And soon it's becoming a very preferred choice for making LASIK flaps. But to just have a femtosecond laser to make a flap sometimes doesn't work out well, especially in a country like India. So if there was such a great potential to use the femtosecond laser so effectively on the cornea, there is a revolutionary new thought for completing the entire LASIK procedure with the help of femtosecond laser, thus eliminating the need to use excimer laser completely. This is today possible with the Visumax femtosecond laser from Carl Zeiss Meditech, and I am very happy to say that I have been a part and a consultant to Carl Zeiss Meditech for the development of this particular procedure. It occurs in 2 ways. Under the group of relax. One is flex, which is femtosecond lenticule extraction, and smile, which is small incision lenticule extraction. To understand this technology better, let me show you a small video. This is the relax procedure in the flex form, the femtosecond lenticule extraction. The docking occurs on the cornea. It does not raise the pressure to the same extent as other femtosecond lasers do, and therefore when you make the first pass, which is more posterior, followed by a more anterior pass, which you can see right now happening, followed by a side cut in order to form a flap. All this takes about 27 seconds and the patient can still look at the green blinking light. The trick here is to find the correct planes. So here I am above the lenticule. I am trying to separate it. You can see the separation is pretty easy. You just require a simple blunt instrument to separate it. Opens like a flap. And if you can notice, there is another edge here which you can then open. So now you are going underneath the lenticule in order to have that separation in the posterior part of the lenticule. It separates it from the underlying stromal bed, and then you can peel it out like a capsulorhexis. The lenticule is designed in such a way that it does the refractive error correction, and then you put the flap back, and that's the end of the procedure. That gets us to a question of why relax. Since we already have such a nice technology of excimer laser to our disposal, which is also becoming very safe, why get into a new procedure altogether? And this is because an excimer laser is a gas-based laser. So even after many improvements, it's not going to be as stable as a fiber-based femtosecond laser. And in a study we did, our MEL80 excimer laser required about 6 interventions in the year ended February 2011, where one was just a gas bottle change. But the Visumax femtosecond laser required only 2 interventions, which is important when you are running a high volume laser refractive surgery clinic. What is more important is that an excimer laser is a gas-based laser, that you are doing the procedure without any photoablation. Since an excimer laser does photoablation, where the rate increases linearly with fluence beyond a certain threshold, it gets influenced by a lot of factors. It gets influenced by corneal hydration levels, the humidity levels, the presence of organic vapors. I remember in one of my centers, I run a chain of laser clinics in India, and in one of the centers we had to postpone 15 patients just because the neighbor was getting his room painted and the fumes were percolating in our area, and there was a strong smell of paint in our room. And this results in a scatter, especially for the treatment of very high myopia. In relax instead, you're doing cutting instead of ablation, which is a binary process instead of being a linear one, which means that either it cuts or it doesn't cut. So there is no in between. So when it cuts precisely. When it doesn't cut, it just doesn't cut. And therefore there is much less influence on any external factors, which is reflected in the tremendous accuracy achieved even within the first 1500 to 2000 eyes done worldwide. And let me tell you, the first 250 eyes were done in Germany by Professor Secundo and Dr. Bloom. And the results that they showed were really very high predictability and stability, which prompted us to do the next 1000 cases. And within the next 1000 cases, we could actually solve so many of the problems that the procedure had, but never did we find that the predictability and stability was a problem. And results are especially interesting for very high myopia, a group in which excimer lasers don't really fare that well. So if you consider our own results, this is with a 500 kilohertz Visumax laser, and you can see in 98% of patients, we have within plus or minus 0.5 diopters without any nomogram adjustment, and this speaks volume about the predictability of the procedure. If you look at the scatter plot, it's again very close to the mean, and the results are interesting for very high myopic group where it follows the same and the equivalent to what you would get with any excimer laser today, where 93% of the eyes are within plus or minus 0.5 diopters, again speaking volumes for the procedure. Whether it comes with excessive inflammation, this was also studied very well by a group in Singapore led by Professor Donald Tan. And they in fact could show that the total amount of energy input into the eye with relax is less than what you would have with femtoLASIK. And this we could also reflect in terms of clinical findings, but we needed to give very little steroids post-operatively, leading to a very high stability of the treatment. So if you would look at any graph of anybody doing relax today, you would find a straight line like this, remaining the same from 1 month to 1 year. What is more encouraging is that even in the high myopic group up to 10 diopters, we are getting the same results getting reflected and the same stability getting reflected, which sometimes you do not find in excimer laser treatments. What was most important and more attractive to us was this potential for a minimally invasive surgery, which was SMILE or small incision lenticule extraction, where again you have this one pass occurring at the posterior plane. The second pass very quickly follows on the interior plane. With the newer settings and the newer profile, we are taking 24 to 26 seconds to complete the entire procedure. This is followed by a small incision. Once you have opened that small incision, you can enter with a very blunt instrument to separate the anterior part of the lenticule from the overlying stroma, and then go underneath and separate the posterior part of the lenticule from the underlying stromal bed. Again, not a difficult thing to do. There is a slit lamp attachment as well as a separate microscope attached to the laser, which allows you a greater depth as compared to normal excimer lasers, and therefore you can easily find these areas. And then you grasp with a special forceps and deliver this lenticule out of a very small incision, leaving the cornea smiling back at you. There is no need to enter that interface again, no need to clean inside. And practically the patient, the doctor and the eye smiles back at you. Can't go further. Small incisions means no risk of flap displacement. There is no flap, there is a cap. Small incision also means that you are minimally cutting out the corneal nerves, leading to less dry eyes, smaller reduction in corneal sensitivity, which means there is less discomfort for the patient for a very small period. We have treated number of patients where we have done frontal LASIK in one eye and smile in the other to study certain parameters, and the patient has always found a difference, and they've always asked whether there was a big difference between the two procedures, because the level of comfort in the immediate post-op period was totally different. It's also giving us a better biomechanical stability relative to a frontal LASIK. Again, there have been number of tests which have been done for this, and it is showing very promising results. Excimer laser also suffers from peripheral fluence loss, and this leads to spherical aberration, which most modern lasers are now taking care by changing their porosity and the aspheric profiles being introduced. However, in Relax, this problem is essentially not there because the lenticule is cut in a prolate fashion. And we had found that there was an induction of less than 0.12 microns of spherical aberration in a 5 mm pupil. There is no need to change stations, no need to keep placing and removing the speculum, and that would mean that you are spending less time in doing the procedure. So again, if you are a very high volume surgeon, it saves you a lot of precious time and a lot less anxiety for the patient, because it takes less time. And if you ask me, patients really love this idea about not having any pain, not having a flap and not having a blade worked on their eye. So if in my experience, Relax is really an easier sell to the patients than frontal LASIK. Usually you would find that if you have an incremental in technology, there is also an associated increase in the cost. Here, it's the opposite, because you have to invest only in one laser instead of two, which would mean that your capital cost, your consumable cost and the maintenance cost is reduced by half. And so if you ask me, do we still need our excimer laser? Yes, we do. Today, if you need to do a truly wavefront guided procedure, which is of course forming a very small cohort from our refractive practice, you would still need your excimer laser. Retreatments, though the retreatment options are getting studied and we've already treated 3 eyes for retreatment. However, you still need an excimer laser to do that today. And hyperopia, the preliminary results are there. They are not equivalent to what you would get with an excimer laser, but I think with more number of eyes and a better profile, we would be able to treat hyperopia also in future. So maybe folks, it's time to say goodbye to excimer laser and enter a new world of Relax. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll take the questions afterwards, okay?